Okay, I'm like super nervous. Let me get some tea. Give me a second. Hey, Amphi here. This is my first live stream. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I kind of just wanted to do a live stream that was going through writing prompts on Reddit. I really like the Hell's Administrator. In fact, maybe that's the one that we do. So here it is. Let's just draw one more time. There is a place known as the Underworld. And then there is the real world, which we'll just call Earth, or we'll just say, yeah, Earth. There is between Earth and the Underworld a membrane. I've been calling it a permeable membrane, something that some people can go past, right? So we'll draw this right here. Now, the only people that are allowed to go back and forth between this membrane are people like the devil, for example, and admins, right? And admins are demons. And these people are allowed to go back and forth between the membrane, heaven and hell. These are the only people that are allowed to go back and forth. Okay? And I'm just going to draw like a little dude over here just to keep the imagery. There we go. There we go. Okay, so devils and admins are allowed to go back and forth, but normal, everyday, like, underworld citizens are not allowed to. So they cannot go back and forth. So just normal people over here, they're sad. They can't go back and forth. People on Earth, probably not sad, but they also can't go back and forth. So these guys, I mean, probably not sad, but, you know, they're unable to go back and forth between the Underworld and Earth. So in this universe, there's a guy who really, really wants to connect with his long-lost lover in hell, right? And so he keeps making deals with the devil, and the devil keeps losing these deals, consistently keeps losing these deals. And because the devil is so angry that he keeps losing these deals, he eventually promotes the lover to admin so that the lover can go back and forth between Earth and the Underworld. They can see each other again. And the devil no longer has to make deals with this person that he consistently loses to. Okay? I think that's a pretty good story. I think that makes sense. I'm a big fan of that. So let's go ahead and write. And this is a story we wrote today, Hell's Administrator. Let's go ahead and read through it. I might mess up a little bit. This is my first time kind of like, I'm not very good at reading aloud on stream, but as long as we take it slowly, it should be okay. Okay, so Hell's Administrator. 3, 2, 1. Hell's Administrator. The flow of time is often described as linear. Seconds turn into minutes, minutes turn into hours, hours turn into days. But there are certain near-universal experiences that contradict this notion. At these times, a second could feel like an hour, and hours can pass in the blink of an eye. I found myself at a pier, one I felt I knew but had never been to before. The waves, the salt in the air, the gentle current beneath my feet, it felt calming, normal, as if the rest of my life had run away without me. I laid back, watching clouds drift across the sky, and I blinked. It was night. The moon and stars were out, watching me from above as I watched them from below. I tried to find a few constellations, but couldn't remember any of their names. I found myself looking to my side, as if for a companion I never had, someone to chat with until the end of time and space, or at least until I blinked. I was at a diner with pancakes and syrup. There was another plate in front of me with eggs and bacon. I guess whoever was eating it left, maybe to the bathroom, maybe we were on a date that went sour. There was a sense of loneliness that I never felt before. This person, whoever they were, was gone, and I somehow felt it was my fault. I blinked. I was at home. A home. My home? There was a snowstorm outside. The wind was howling. The fireplace was crackling, casting long shadows on the wall. Beside the fireplace, there was a large, stagnant bucket of water. There was also a broken clock on the mantel. I was alone on the couch with a cup of hot cocoa in hand. The wall acted as a canvas, showing an exact replica of everything in the room. The lamp, the chair, the couch. It was then that I noticed something odd. There was not one shadow sitting on the couch, but two. In that moment, I should have felt concern. After all, that is the normal reaction to seeing the supernatural. But, like the pier before, I only felt peace, as if the shadow should be there and I was the intruder. I blinked. There was someone on the rocking chair across from me. Not the shadow on the wall, someone else, someone with no shadow at all. He was wearing a dark robe that obscured his face, but I could tell he was looking directly at me. I couldn't quite figure out what was going on, But I blinked and he was still there. I blinked again and again. Every time he was still there, staring at me. Every blink made me more familiar with my surroundings. I was not on a couch, it was my couch. I saw a copy of my favorite book on the table. I heard my dog barking outside. The shadow on the wall, I knew him. The man then spoke. He said, "You are special. I don't know why, I don't know how, but you are special." He then looked to the wall and said, "He's special too." The man continued, "I've been here a long time, longer than anyone, including myself, can remember. There has never been a pair like you who have consistently found themselves wandering alone together." He stood, stoking the flames in the fireplace for a few moments. On Earth, people wander aimlessly about their lives until they're snuffed out. Then they wander aimlessly here for the rest of eternity. That is the way it has always been. He then threw the water onto the fire, filling the room with smoke and steam. Somehow, though everything else in the world was obscured, I saw a person sitting next to me on the couch. One I knew deeply and thoroughly, someone I couldn't believe I had forgotten. We immediately hugged one another as the man spoke again. "I've made many deals throughout my life. In almost every single one of them, I come out on top. This man has tricked me time and time again, all for one reason: to see you again. There's a single way to do this. Normally, people can't pass between hell and earth. The demons, however, can. I will promote you to be a demon and my personal administrator here in hell. This will allow the two of you to see each other whenever you want. It also means I will no longer need to make any more deals with this thing." He then pointed to my husband. "I'll see you tomorrow. Don't be late." I then blinked again, and the man was gone. A black uniform was on the chair. My husband and I sat in peace for the first time in what felt like an eternity. Most importantly, the clock on the wall finally began to tick again. Hey, I don't know. I thought that was pretty good. For a random prompt for my first stream, and for a random prompt that we selected out of nowhere, I'm pretty happy with that.